Hi, this is Marek from Tryb, and today I'd like to talk about the game called Calico. This game was released by Alderac Entertainment Group, and thanks for sending the game for review. A lot of you probably knows Calico. This is a famous game, well known. It received a lot of awards. This is an abstract puzzle game where you have to create a quilt for your cat. You can see the cat on the cover, and you will get a board. You will take different patch tiles, and from the tiles you will try to create the quilt. But of course, like in a lot of or maybe in all abstract games, the most important thing is to score a lot of points, and here you will score points for cats, for buttons, for designer gold tiles, for a lot of things. Let me show you how the game plays. Okay, also I forgot to tell you, it's for 1 to 4 players. You can play it solo, you can play it multiplayer. There is also a family variant that helps you to play with kids. Let me show you how the game plays, and then I will tell you my opinion on this game. This is Calico prepared for play. You have to make a beautiful quilt for your cat. Each player gets a player board. It's double layered, and you will place different patch tiles on your board trying to make the quilt. In this game you will score in 3 different ways. Each player gets some designer gold tiles. There are 6 gold tiles for each player. You randomly pick 3 and then you put them on your player board. And these designer gold tiles tell you which tiles need to be adjacent to them in order to score points. For example, this tile tells you that all 6 tiles adjacent to this one needs to be different from each other. If they have different colors, but the patterns are not different, you will score 10 points. If they have different patterns, but the colors are not unique, you will also score 10 points. But if you manage to place 6 patterns, 6 tiles around it, and they have different colors and different patterns, you will score 15 points. For example, this designer gold tile tells you that it wants pairs of tiles around it. So here we have these tiles. You also have cats, and each cat wants a group of tiles in either specific number of tiles or in specific shape. You have 5 cats, they are double-sided. In each game you only pick 3 of them, so you know the replayability is quite high. For example, Millie the cat wants 3 tiles adjacent to each other that needs to have this or this type of pattern. Tibit the cat wants 4 tiles with this specific pattern. And if you manage to place tiles on your board that have specific pattern like the cats want, you place a cat token and you put it on your player board and you will score points. And you also have buttons. If you manage to place 3 tiles in the same color, you will get a button of a given color, and you can place this button on your player board. So you will score buttons for colors, cats for patterns, and designer gold tiles for both patterns and colors. So how do you play the game? Each player, apart from the board, gets 2 patch tiles at the start of the game, and in your turn you have to place one of your patch tiles onto your board and take 1 patch from the market. There are always 3 tiles available in the market, so after you place one of the patch tiles from your hand, you take 1 from the market. Let's say I will take this one. And then you have to add 1 tile to the market. Then there is another player turns, and let's say it's our turn again. I will take this tile, I will put it here, and right now I have 3 flowers adjacent to each other. It's perfect for Millie the cat, so I take Millie the cat token and I will put it here. And this cat will give me 3 victory points at the end of the game. This, for example, 5, and this 7 if I manage to lure him to my quilt. And I take 1 tile from the market. I will give 1 to the market here, And let's say another player turns and it's my turn again. I take this tile, I will put it here, and I managed to put 3 green tiles next to each other, so I can take the green button and put it here. And the game continues as long as you have space on your board. If your board is full, the game ends and you have to calculate your score. You will get 3 points for each button, the number printed on your cats for the cats, and the number printed on designer tiles if you manage to fulfill its condition. If you play a solo game, the rules are more or less the same. The only difference is that you have 2 tiles as well in your hand, but after you place 1 tile from your hand, you take 1 tile from the market and you have to discard 1 tile that is furthest from the tile back. You have to discard it, and then you have to put 2 tiles on the market again. So you take 1 tile, you discard 1 tile, and you put back 2 tiles on the market. That way you have a bigger rotation of tiles, and you can easier find the tiles that you want. In the rulebook you can also find a lot of achievements. You can find some scenarios, some rule restriction achievements. If you want, you can try to accomplish the achievements in solo game, in multiplayer game. It's sometimes, if you played Calico a lot, it may be fun for you to try to get different achievements. You have family variant where you don't use the designer gold tiles, you only score for cats and for buttons, and this is an easier mode, perfect for families or for playing with kids. They don't have to focus on the designer tiles because they are most difficult to achieve points from. There is the solo mode I told you about. There is 2-player lower variant where you remove a set of the tiles from the back, so you have less tiles in the back and bigger chances to find a specific tile. So this is how you play Calico. Calico is a really fun abstract game. I'm not surprised that a lot of people love it and says that it's their favorite abstract game. The rules are very simple, but there is a lot of thinking and a lot of crunchy decisions that you have to make in this game, even though the rules are very simple. Put 1 tile on your board and take 1 tile from the market. There's a lot of replayability here because you have different cats that you can use. You have different designer gold tiles, and if you mix everything together, every game will look a little different, even though you will always make a quilt for your cat. Some people compare it to Cascadia, a game from the same publisher, but I think it's different because for me Calico is more difficult, and maybe it's my brain, but the puzzles and the abstract puzzle in Calico was for me more difficult to, let's say, solve than in Cascadia. It's hard for me to get a reasonable number of points in this game. In Calico, the further you are in the game, the more difficult it becomes because you have less free spaces on your player board. So every tile you place must be very carefully, chosen, because otherwise you will, mess with your scoring and you will not get a lot of points. And for example, in Cascadia, the further you are in the game, the board is more open and you have more tiles and more option to add new tiles. So it becomes a little easier in Cascadia, but by the end of the game it's very difficult, to place the correct tile in the correct spot to get most points. So for me, Calico is more difficult, but it's also fun. As I said, it includes a family variant. You can play with your kids because you don't use the designer gold tiles and you only focus on colors, the buttons, and on cats that require specific patterns. So I've played Cascadia with my daughter. She's 6.5 and she didn't have any problems to play it. So I played Calico with my daughter, I played Cascadia also with my daughter. Both these games include family variant and is a great option. Is Calico a game for you? It depends. If you like abstract games, you have to try it. It received a lot of awards, and a lot of people have this game in their top 10 games of all time. If you don't like abstract games, I don't think this one will convince you to like them, because it's typical game where you have different things that you have to place in a specific order on a pattern to score points, and you have to like this type of logical puzzle to like Calico. Click the like button if you like the video, subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more videos about games that can be played solo. Visit me on Instagram, visit me on Twitter, visit me on Facebook. You will find links in the description of the video, and thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.